So, look, I got this Warriors championship jersey on. Now, I'm not a Warriors fan. I don't follow them like that. I know they're a great team. They got a bunch of all stars, but I don't follow them like that. I'm a LeBron fan, and I'm unapologetic by that. And I do think he's the best of all times, the greatest of all times, whatever you want to call it. And I still think he's the best player in the NBA. You can include anybody you want in there. You can include Durant. You can include Harden. You can include whoever you want, man. But I've never seen a basketball player that does the complete things that he does and has the psychological and emotional edge and temperament that an all-star has like him. His temperament is ridiculous. He had a bit of a breakdown last year during the playoffs when his team completely threw away that first game and he lost it. I have a very good temperament and I can understand that. I would lose it in certain situations. That would be a situation I would lose it in, because of how important the situation is. However, so now he goes to the Lakers, and sometimes I listen. I usually put on Undisputed. I usually listen to what Shannon has to say. And if they're talking about LeBron, when Skip's about to talk, I usually turn my YouTube channel. I go to another YouTube and go to another set and go to another, because his bias is indescribable. His bias is prejudice. His bias is like the bias a racist will have, where no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter there's a hate to his bias about LeBron James. There is. There's just something distinctive and disrespectful and hateful about his bias. So I really don't listen to him. But I did pay attention earlier today, and they was talking about LeBron with the Lakers, and they was talking about the players that they picked up. So they talked about Rajon and they talked about McGee. McGee is hilarious though, but he can get you a block and he can get you a dunk and he can get you an alley oop, which is great, and he can clog up the middle, which is good. And they talked about Beasley. Beasley is really one of the most talented people in the NBA. The left-handed thing he got going on, he has a good body, he has a strong body. He's not on drugs any longer, so I think that he's ready to play. And then did I say Ronja? And I said Beasley, McGee, and Lance Stevenson, you know. And it was heard today that these guys are so uncoachable, they can be combustible. This thing could just blow up in their face. And the weirdest thing about this whole thing is when you're talking about teams and you're talking about putting LeBron on a team, LeBron has showed time and time and time again that although good teams matter and superstars matter, LeBron manages to get to places where other superstars could never get to with teams that you cannot think of another person could bring them to that point. Like last year, like when he was playing with Miami Heat and Bosh and Wade was getting hurt, there wasn't a whole lot of backup on the team. But you did have some 3-point shooters when they brought Ray Allen and they brought Miller in there, and these guys can play. And I can't think of the light skinned kid who used to play for North Carolina, but I love him to death. But my point is that you put LeBron on the Lakers team, and they got about 3 or 4 potential young all stars. They are potential all stars. They're not all stars now, but these guys can play. All right, Ingram, and I can't think of the one guy that was playing in the summer league this year. But he's a beast. I think he's getting the MVP of the summer league or something like that. He's a light-skinned kid, but he plays for the Lakers. I can't think of his name right now. So you got Ingram, you got Ball, and you got the other kid, Guzma. All right, now this is what I want. This is what I want you to do. I want you to take and look at the Boston squad that brought LeBron and them to 7 games last year without Kyrie and without the other kid. These was young stars, but they wasn't all stars at the time. But they was in the right system. They had the right coaching, and they played like stars throughout the playoffs and knocked off Philly. They knocked off And they gave, trust me, and they gave the Cavaliers mad drama. And the only reason why they didn't overcome the Cavaliers is because LeBron is in the way. All right, so I think that the three guys that LeBron playing with, them young boys, is just as good as the three young boys that's over there on Boston. The difference is that the three young guys here in the Lakers is going to war with LeBron. Another thing is Rondo can play, and he's a distributor. Another thing is that kid Ball gets the ball out of his hands very fast. Now, just imagine if they turn LeBron, because LeBron don't have to bring the ball up, and the ball doesn't have to stick to LeBron, and he doesn't have to wait for shooters. But just imagine LeBron becoming the shooter. Just imagine LeBron, 50% of the time, is a wingman. He's the one cutting to the basket. He's the one out on the fast break. He's the one that's coming. Because LeBron doesn't have to run the ball up the middle. Because you got Rondos, they go out on fast break. LeBron doesn't have to get the ball. LeBron can actually go around, and Rondo can come up with the ball and make the decision. Ball can make the decision. You know how much pressure that takes off LeBron? So, I don't know, people just say silly stuff because they don't like really think about what they say. But the fact that people think that Rondo can't be coached, that Lance can't be coached, that McGee can't be coached, that Beasley's the head case, these guys is going to play with LeBron, and they have 1-year contracts. So meanwhile, these guys is going to play with LeBron. They have an opportunity, man, to have the best, probably the best part of their career, except for Rondo. And they have 1-year contracts, which means that I'm playing with LeBron. You're saying that, Skip and them is saying that these guys is not smart enough to understand that this year can catapult them into 2- and 3-year contracts, maybe someplace else or maybe even here. These guys are smart enough to know that. And actually, if they listen to LeBron, if they pay attention to the coach, if they pay attention to the fact that they playing with the Lakers and Magic Johnson is the GM, they have an opportunity to extend their careers. And if you think they're too stupid to understand that, then you're too stupid to understand the mentality of people who's been in the pros for the last 10 years. Thank you.